For today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite albums that I have found while doing an obscure music hunt. This is like probably one of the within the first 10 of the obscure music albums that I was able to get my hands on physically, and that is Four Times Sound Razing by the group Silberbart. Now, this one I will say right off the bat, this is not an easy listen at all, but I think that's what makes it so unique and so special and why I love it so much. Released in 1971, just about a year before their split in 1972, and pretty much disappearing since then. The members, they are all in German, so I will try my best to, pronounce it correctly. The first one's Hajo Teschner. He is, I believe it was guitars and vocals. Yep, I got it right. Peter Behrens, which was drums, and Werner Klug, which is bass, right? Yep, had to double check because I forget. They made a 4-track, 43-minute long chaotic masterpiece, and for a lot of people, from what I could see in the comments of YouTube videos posting it, it is a very sought-after album within, the krautrock genre around this time, and I think it's for a good reason. It needs to be more out there. If you want to find a first press, I would say good luck. I've been hunting for about 2.5 years now. I have not found one, as the first press was only made in Germany, and that was it. And they can run you about $300 average, with some listed as low as $338 and as high as $1,100 US. If you want to repress, there are 3 official represses. There is 2 German represses from 2012 on vinyl and CD, which I have right here. They're still sealed. Mine has a little hairline crack right around here, but this is the CD. I'll put up pictures at the end of it. That's the CD. And here is the vinyl. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that adorable little gnome on there. There's that. What just fell? And then there is a French repress from 2022. The German CD, as of right now, if you get them off Discogs, they'll run you about $20 to $30, and the vinyl about 30, maybe 35-ish. And then the French vinyl will run around the same of 30, 35. I did get mine as Christmas gifts, but I put my Christmas list together because it's easier for me to just give them a list of everything and then just basically be surprised with whatever they choose to pick. So, these came from Amazon from, overseas. So the CD was $40 and the vinyl was $60. Which, honestly, that seems like a lot. Whatever. At the end of the day, I love it. They are prized possessions in my collection, and I cherish them. There are multiple unofficial releases that are all over the place from about the 90s to 2010s, from Russia, Spain, US. There's one that's from somewhere called Australasia. Don't know what that is. I'm going to put that up on screen if I remember. Please remember editing me. Most of them having a normal cover, but for some they change the colorway. They make it either a brighter and pale red and blue, or they make it pink and green. It's very odd on how this is, but honestly, I would like to get my hands on a bootleg just to have it. And like I said before, not much is known after they split in 72. It seems like it just fell off the face of the earth. The drummer Peter, who was in a band called Trio, which I did not know till someone mentioned it, which I thought that was cool. I'm going to have to check it out. He passed away in 2016. Nothing can be found about Werner Klug that I can find. And Hajo releasing one album with Legansk. Hoping I'm saying it right. I'm going to put it on the screen just to be 100% correct. And their album is called, I'm going to hope I'm saying it right again, Regenziet. It's Regenzieit. He does have a page, linked within the Discogs, so I will put it in the description, but it is in old German, so good luck. I still have to get a translator to look at it. Don't know what it says, but it's there. Now we're going to go diving into the album, and just from the cover alone, I'm going to show it again. Look at that adorable little bastard. I'm gonna show it like right here or there. But on the cover it says Sharp Creations, stainless steel silver blends. I did not expect this craziness to come out of it. I expected maybe like psychedelic, maybe a bit of hard rock influence into it, but mostly I was expecting psych, stuff like that, maybe even like classical mix into it. That's kind of what it was giving for me. Was not expecting this. And I do love the gnome on the front of it. It is cute. It's adorable. I want to get a gnome that's just like that. Paint it the same colors as it is on the album. Just to have that weird piece. I don't know why. I feel like that's something I have to have in my collection. Now on to the tracks. Track 1. Called Chub Chub Cherry. That's what it is. And it's odd. We know that. And what's even weirder about it, it is the shortest song on the entire album at 4 minutes 37 seconds about. It is a great intro to the whole album because I feel like we need a taste of what we're getting into with this and not just throwing you into the deep end. But yeah, it definitely has more of a hard rock feel to it with a whimsical style in the chorus, which I think kind of blends it all together somehow. And I gotta take into consideration throughout the entire thing, but especially like on stuff like this, it is a 53-year-old album. 1971 to 2024. 53 years. So, I have to go back and judge it as, like, 70s production. I can't look at it as someone putting it out in this year. But honestly, for the time, it works. It doesn't feel super polished, and yet it is not awful quality. It is a whole entire, like, gritty, like, nasty almost feel to it. That's the only way I can, like, think on how to say this. It's gritty, it's, like, very crunchy at times even, in my opinion. But it's great. And even the vocals, like, soar through this as well. The vocals have that gritty, growl-like feel to them. But are able to also wail, which I think that is great. And it does not sound awful, it doesn't sound like it's overtaking anything. It works. Track 2 is called Brain Brain, which somehow the name fits it well magically, if that makes sense. And it is the longest song on this album. It's the longest song at 16 minutes and 16 seconds. It starts out a bit different than the last one. It starts out quiet. It's like the saying in like movies, it's like, it's quiet, almost too quiet. And with like barely any drums or guitar. It's like it's just in the background kind of taking up the empty space, or more or less just joining the empty space, with the vocals having these like weird wispy sounding vocals to it throughout the back, making it sound like a ghost or some shit almost. And it's like a weird, I'm guessing it's like a keyboard or some sort of thing. I don't think it's a guitar, but it's like strings or notes in the back with it. It's just very reverbed and all that stuff. Just don't expect the calm to last, because we are really early into the song. We're only a couple minutes in, and all of a sudden, a cluster of screams, wailing guitars, drums, all that shit kicks down the doors, and it is the most insane and crazy sound ever within it. And somehow, within all the craziness, there's also a normal section that brings you back into the safety of what the song Chub Chub Cherry was, with the hard guitars, the gritty wailing vocals, and the nice drums to set it all off, and then it just kind of goes quiet again. Very much just going through every stage of, like, panic almost, listening to this. It actually gave me a jump scare when I first listened to it. I am not kidding. I was so thrown off because I was not expecting it. Track 3, which is by far my favorite. There is nothing that can top this at this moment. It's the track called God. It is just a bit over 10 minutes, and has more of a mellow start off, but not like quiet mellow like Brain Brain. More of just like, it sounds like a normal song. It kind of fits the lines of Chub Chub Cherry, but it is more of like a mellow feeling to this, but it has a very powerful melody with the instrumentals and the vocals. They just cut right through all the instruments, but yet still pull it off so well. It doesn't really overtake, and it doesn't like underachieve, basically. They just cut right through the center just as they're supposed to, and it just makes it all better. And there's actually a fairly good solo guitar solo, within it. And that threw me off because I was not expecting a solo, but I liked it. It was really cool. And with there's a lot of minor yet powerful changes within the melody, whether that's like in between the normal part, like the breakdown type thing, and then all the other little stuff. It's like, did you really think this was going to be a normal song? Wrong. About 5 minutes in, you get those wailing screams back in, accompanied with a kick-ass sounding drum solo. That threw me off even more. Was not expecting the drums to be so fast. When I listened, I was like, whoa. I even tried to pull it off myself because I do play drums time to time. I could not even pull it off because it is so fast. I could not catch up all the notes. I was not expecting it. And then after all that crazy section, it seems to mellow down. Has this weird, like, dark, eerie feeling with more of the cutting vocals, but everything is toned down again. And it's like, somehow this is the best one on there. Last track is track 4, which is Head Tear of a Drunken Son. I thought it was Head Tear, like it says Tear, but no, the way he says it in the song is Head Tear of a Drunken Son. That's how it is, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. The weird intro within it, like it builds up, and then it kicks into the power of a guitar and bass combo, with the drums accompanying and the wailing vocals coming through and like nailing the last track. And then, as expected, halfway through, it dives into this like mellow, quiet sound, and then goes headfirst into chaos that we all love within all these tracks, with the guitars all over, the weird noises, and so much more. And to wrap it up and bring it home, it comes full circle with the original main song, ending this wonderful forgotten gem of an album. Now, for ear appeal for this one, I'm gonna give it a 7 to a 7.5. But I only listen to this about once a week, once every other week. And the reason for this, it's not like a normal album. You're not gonna bump this in your car the way you would bump like a Bones album, or like Twisted, any other band anyone likes. Dubliners for me. I play that shit all the time. Like, I'm not gonna bump this the same way I would bump those, because those ones are more like on the line of like catchy, fun songs. This is a sit down and think album. And looking at the ear appeal part, the production wise, somehow they were able to accomplish all of this crazy stuff within this time period, and that is very impressive. Because it's like, and especially since they're like, at that time, they were like a new band. This was their first and unfortunately only project. And yet it is like this amazing album that I think deserves to be heard by everyone. I wish they would have ended up staying together, maybe making even more. At least another album. We need more of this. I would love to see this, if ever possible, get a remix. Because it is originally on the Philips label. Maybe they have the masters and are able to like remaster, remix, all that stuff. I would love to see that, because this is one that needs it. This needs a working to make it even better. For overall score, that's including the cover, the songs, the production, all that, including everything, we are giving this an 8 to an 8.5. And I think, honestly, it is fair for this type of album with the chaotic melody it brings within it. And with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning into this review. Next up, it might be, I have two in mind. One of them might be Susan Christie's To Paint a Lady. The other one, I gotta see. I'm not 100% sure, but it's gonna be something interesting. But thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed it, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Do whatever, I don't care. See you next one.